Greetings, Love Posse. What if I told you the same ideology that justified sterilizing thousands of Americans a century ago never really died? It just got smarter, quieter, and deadlier. Today's conversation is about the dark plan to thin the herd and why you need to pay attention and act now. What is this ideology? It's called eugenics. I will read directly from the National Human Genome Research Institute. The definition of eugenics. I will also put the link to the website down in the description. Eugenics is the scientifically erroneous and immoral theory of racial improvement and planned breeding, which gained popularity during the early 20th century. Eugenicists worldwide believed that they could perfect human beings and eliminate so-called social ills through genetics and heredity. They believed the use of methods such as forced sterilization, segregation, and social exclusion would rid society of individuals deemed by them to be unfit. While I will primarily focus on the eugenics movement in the United States, this movement was global. Hitler's extermination of an estimated 6 million Jews was an application of eugenics. So let's look at the history of the eugenics movement in the United States. In the early 1900s, the United States was obsessed with improving the human race. Eugenics programs across the country sterilized more than 60,000 Americans. The more than 60,000 Americans they determined to be feeble-minded. Who did they consider to be the feeble-minded? Pay attention. People with disabilities, people of color, poor people, immigrants, and what we now call the LGBTQIA community, which was probably considered homosexuals and queers back in the early 1900s. Do those groups sound familiar with what is going on now? This wasn't fringe. The eugenics movement was mainstream. Eugenics was taught in schools, laws enforced eugenics, and the Supreme Court upheld the sterilization of American citizens in the landmark case Buck v. Bell, 1927 case. Carrie Buck v. Bell. How do I know this? Well, you can look it up, but how do I personally know this? Why is this personal to me? Because in law school, I took I think it was a reproductive health law course. We had to write a paper, a 50-page paper or so. And I did research and wrote a paper about the eugenics movement in the United States, focusing on the landmark case of Buck v. Bell. The Nazis took those ideas and showed the world just how far they could go. And after World War II, everyone pretended the story was over, but it wasn't. Today's modern eugenics wears suits. It's in boardrooms and policy papers. It owns charitable foundations and human data collection companies. It's in genetic engineering labs and in algorithms. It's in virus study, testing, laboratories, and masquerading as vaccines. It's in big, beautiful bills passed by the United States Congress. Sounds like efficiency, cost-cutting, and sustainability. And more than ever, it hides in the language these eugenicists use when talking about the people they want to rid society of. What do they call them? What do they say? DEI, burdens on society, draining society, welfare queens, too many people, slackers, freeloaders, and let's not forget woke. What are the signs of revival? Revival of the eugenics movement in the United States. I want to make sure I list what I consider to be signs of the revival of the eugenics movement. So I'm going to read what I have written as the signs. Okay, here we go. This is what we see. This is what I have seen. Disproportionate harm to marginalized communities during pandemics, healthcare system that denies care to the least likely to recover, poor, elderly, people of color, population control. Haven't we heard that? We have too many people on the planet. Who do we hear it from? Pay attention to that. Genetic engineering, marketed as designing better babies. That's why they want to edit human genes, the embryos. Deportation of all immigrants, whether they are legal and law-abiding citizens, matters not. They want them out of here. Erasure of the foundational Black Americans who built this country. Not providing warnings or governmental assistance immediately to communities that are marginalized when there are natural disasters. Floods, Texas. Allowing corporations to release in the air, in the water, in the food source, ground, poisonous toxins. And where do we find these corporations? In marginalized communities. Poor communities, Black communities, brown communities. Medical racism. Did you know that Black women are 3 times more likely to die in childbirth than white women? That Black women, overall, of all groups, has the highest number of death during childbirth. And Black babies, highest number of death of any other group. Medical racism. We know what happened during COVID when it came to Black people. Cutting health care for over 17 million people. Cutting food assistance programs for the most vulnerable, the poor, children, elderly, the disabled. They don't care. Signs of the revival of eugenics. Attacking LGBTQI+ community. This charade, this about the threat of my trans community, my trans brothers and sisters who are a part of our community, LGBTQIA+ community. Technology like CRISPR, CRISPR. I don't remember what the acronym means. Look it up. But CRISPR, because of CRISPR, scientists can now edit human genes and make better or improve people. AI algorithms that decide who gets jobs, loans, or even parole, often replicating racial and economic biases. We are in the midst. We are knee deep, chest deep in a revival of the eugenics movement in the United States, around the world. The question is, who gets to decide who is worth keeping? Who decides which lives are valuable? Who benefits when the herd is thinned? Because history shows us that it's never the vulnerable who makes those decisions. It's the powerful. Why does this matter now? Because it's happening now. Because it's already happening. The plan to thin the herd is happening right in front of our faces. People have already been harmed. People have already been killed. People have already been devalued and compromised. And a large group of people are still stuck in shock, just not knowing what to do, complaining and pontificating and just talking about it and making jokes about it. And I can't believe this is our country. It is. It is. Wake up. What can't you believe? It's happening right now. And we have to do something. Well, this is what I'm doing. In my closing, I'll tell you what you can do. But we have to wake up. We have to pay attention. We have to call it out when we see it. It's not a joke. This is not a Hollywood movie. It can't be taken back. You got to wake up. This is not normal, okay? Wake the F up. That's why it matters. It matters because we are in it. It matters. Your country, the United States of America, the government of the United States of America, and wealthy people with the ideology of eugenics are currently trying to rid the United States of America of people they consider to be feeble-minded. They consider to be not worthy of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You didn't think it was going to come for you. You thought, okay, he's just fucking with some black people. He's just fucking with some immigrants, brown people. Well, now he's fucking with you. If you're on Medicaid, Social Security, if you live in communities like in Texas with marginalized people, if you are elderly, you have children, if you are receiving food assistance, this government does not care. These people with this ideology of improving the human race don't care about you. You thought they were not going to fuck with you because your skin is white, because you look like them. They don't care what you look like. They don't consider your life valuable because you're poor. So wake up. Pay attention. It's already happening. And you have to stop it. Love Posse, in closing, we are in the midst of the herd being thinned by people in our government who are backed by corporations, who are backed by people who practice the ideology, who have the ideology of eugenics and practice methods to exterminate and get rid of people they consider not worthy to be members of society. Again, these people are in our governments. These people are those, not all, those billionaires who are bankrolling the Trump administration and all his illegal, unconscious actions. Because they don't see you or me as valuable. They consider us unfit, the feeble-minded. So we must resist. We must act. We must wake up. We must question the narrative. We must speak for those who can't speak for themselves. We must never, ever forget. No one gets to decide your worth but you. No one gets to decide your worth but you. Now, I want to speak specifically to white-bodied people. You're going to have to step up. You're going to have to do more than pontificate, complain, sit around talking about, I can't believe this is our country. Believe it! This is your country. You didn't want to hear our voice, our cries. You don't want to hear the voice and the cries of brown people, the LGBTQ community, the poor, the elderly or vulnerable. They can't speak for themselves. So you, white-bodied, able-bodied, middle class, conscious people, you have to stand up and you have to act. Why? Because these people come from your community. They don't give a damn about us. We can't reason with them. They don't see us as human. Well, they don't see you as human either, but at least you look like them. So maybe they'll listen, but we have to do more than talk. You have to wake up from the shock of it all. People who look like me, this has been our history in this country. This country has never been great for us. There's no Independence Day to celebrate because my ancestors were enslaved at the birth of this country. So don't call on me to stand with you, even though I believe we have to be united. I'm united in here because you're my brothers and sisters, because you are souls like I am a soul. We come from the same creator, so we're united in spirit. But as for being out in those streets, you have to do it. Again, because these people come from your community, and also because so many brown, black, indigenous, yellow, your Asian, Chinese lives have been compromised, devalued, and lost, trying to survive in this country, trying to prove that we are human beings, trying to make, generally speaking, the white community see, recognize that something's wrong when you're constantly putting your knee on the necks of people who are different than you. We've been trying to get you to see. But now the chickens have come home to roost, as my brother, teacher Malcolm X would say. The chickens have come home to roost because now these people from your community are at your doorstep because they want to destroy you. They want to rid the country of you. Because you're not a billionaire. You're not part of the ultra rich. You thought you were special or different. You're not. None of us are special. We're both special and not special. We're both everything and nothing. If you can understand that, then you know where I'm coming from. You know this is coming from love. This has nothing to do with the bullshit people call race. I don't even believe in that bullshit, but I have to use this terminology because that's all most people understand, because they're still there. They haven't moved beyond race, the races. I keep asking Spirit, why am I still here? But you must act. My white-bodied brothers and sisters, we are depending on you. No more black and brown blood has to be shed. No more red indigenous blood has to be shed. We are depending on you. Thank you for your time. Love, Posse. Peace and love to and for all sentient beings.